Welcome back. Any day now, we are expecting to learn who Vice President Kamala Harris wants alongside her as her running mate. According to CNN this morning, Governor Tim Walz will be in Washington, D.C. today for a face-to-face interview. Joining us now to dive into all of this, political analyst Blois Olson. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Great to see you.
So a little bit of a surprise here because Governor Walz was supposed to be in New Hampshire, and we learned from his office last night that he would not be in New Hampshire. So tell us where we're at.
Well, I think they were trying to get everybody to the East Coast, and so on Thursday or Friday they signaled that he would do a campaign event in New Hampshire, which I took as get him closer to the East Coast. Vice President Harris has an event on Tuesday, and then a series of rallies expected with her running mate, and so I was kind of like, you got to move people without making it obvious, and then obviously came out yesterday that that Governor Walz will be interviewed by Harris today in D.C.
Which is interesting because, of course, he's not the only one being face-to-face interviewed, according to the couple of sources from CNN. But also that first campaign stop Tuesday evening is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is Shapiro's home state, and he canceled his campaign events for the weekend a few days ago. Exactly.
I think Governor Shapiro, Governor Beshear, some of the other candidates have been a little more forward in their cancellations than Governor Walz, and you can't read too much into it, but you want to. You want to like take every little nugget and say that. I think the one thing that Governor Walz has done maybe, or supporters of Governor Walz has done differently than the other candidates, is he's actually, people are campaigning for him. Yesterday, Bernie Sanders was in town campaigning for Ilhan Omar. He came right out and said, I think it should be Tim Walz. And other people have done that. And so there is this sense of momentum that Governor Walz has this populist, he's the populist choice.
Yeah, but Minnesota is not necessarily a battleground state, and some of the other top contenders are. So talk more about strengths and weaknesses.
What does the vice presidential nominee get you? It gets you support in your home state. Other than that, there's not a lot to look into. Pennsylvania is definitely a must-win for both the Trump campaign and the Harris campaign if they want to be the nominee. Harris's numbers have shifted compared to Biden's, and so she's doing better in Michigan, for instance, than Biden was. So there's never just one thing, I like to say. There's going to be multiple reasons why it's that candidate versus somebody else.
What do you think as far as, you know, how things could play out? I mean, it's all kind of hypothetical at this point.
Right.
So, you know, we're kind of diving down that trail. But as far as who you could see as the top name, I mean, if it weren't Walz.
Yeah, I think Shapiro is probably the top name by traditional standards. But it's 2024. Nothing's been traditional here. And so you can see that. There is also, you know, Walz might help you in Wisconsin. It's a Midwest populism, and Wisconsin's another must-win for whoever wants to be the president.
Again, asking hypothetical questions. Apologize, folks, but we're all just wondering in all these different directions. If Governor Walz were not to be tapped as the running mate, could you see a scenario where he's tapped to be, you know, a cabinet lead, a secretary of something?
I think that's true. I think a lot of people speculate that that was probable no matter what. And so now that his name has risen, his stock has risen, I think, you know, if Harris wins, I think he will be, you know, considered seriously for a cabinet post. Could be agriculture, could be education, could be Veterans Affairs.
Yeah. Some of the routine of now the process getting to the DNC, Kamala Harris does now officially have enough delegates. So what are the steps now to officially, you know, what we'll see the ceremonial part of it, a lot of it, in Chicago in a couple of weeks?
Well, that's just it. I mean, Governor Walz, if he's not the nominee, will have a primetime speaking spot on Monday of the DNC. But yeah, the delegates are lined up. You know, they've really organized this and coordinated it. Think about it. 2 weeks ago is when Joe Biden dropped out. And so here we are 2 weeks later. She has the delegates. And the theme of that convention obviously completely changes. So there's a lot to be expected. She's just brought a different energy to the race. You know, if you support her or don't, you have to understand there's a different energy now in that race. And I think that's what you're going to see at the DNC.
All right, we'll be watching all of it, and definitely watching between now and Tuesday when Kamala Harris has that first campaign event. Blois, always good to see you. We'll have you back. And, of course, you can listen to more of his expertise and insight on CCO Radio on 9 and 10. Yep. 9 to 10 today. So thank you, Blois. We'll see you again.